Hi everyone. I'm going to put the topic challenge. Doing kvass. Post the comment. Up. Fantastic. Okay. This is the one in English, guys. So the ones who watched it in Russian, it's gonna be the same. Well, almost the same. Добрый вечер. Это у меня для английских товарищей я веду, да, англоговорящих, потому что для вас было с утра, ну, днем, да, сейчас вечером я уже по-английски, чтобы ни тех, ни других не обидеть. Так что вот. Okay, so everyone who is joining now, hello, or everyone who is going to watch me a bit later. Let me do this. Great. So, as part of our challenge, now that we've got our kvass ready, yeah, beetroot kvass ready, we are going to bottle it. For those who are joining me later, yeah, or for those who haven't got the kvass ready yet, do check the stories, yes, and do check the highlights below my bio, where you will see the progress of fermentation. And I did share quite a lot of comments how to determine that your ferment is ready. Yeah, remember, you're the only person on this planet who can do that. Right, so in the morning, well, actually during the day, yeah, in the afternoon, I had a live stream for Russian-speaking people and auditory, and now, and I did make, so this kvass, so I made, as you can see, it's not full, some of it is missing, yeah, so we did do, because I have one jar, but I am doing 2 lives, so I did half of it, some of it in the afternoon, and now I'm going to do the rest of it. So basically mine looks flat, yeah, yours should not look flat. It's just because it was disturbed quite a lot. It was bottled and then poured back into the jar, so that's why it looks like this, very, very flat, yeah. Right, so I'm going to probably, what is this? I'm going to, for those who are joining me and who doesn't know what it's all about, or what this all is about, going to introduce myself shortly. My name is Anna Drozdova, and I'm fermentation specialist. I take your hand and lead you to the magical world of bacteria and fermentation, basically. I'm running live workshops in North London and area, and I'm running fermentation workshops online with online format, courses actually, on different topics, yeah. It's sourdough bread, gluten and gluten-free, it's kombucha, it's sauerkraut, it's kimchi, it's condiments, different fermented salads, and other drinks. So there's quite a lot, a big range of things that I'm offering. So today we're continuing our fermentation, continue our challenge, yeah. And we're going to first bottle the kvass, and then we are going to cook. Well, we're not going to cook, but we're going to prepare a recipe using the beetroots, yeah. Это у меня все по-английски, да, по-русски я уже сегодня днем проводила, поэтому это то же самое, ребят, так что не переживайте, ничего нового я вам не рассказываю тут. Right, so to bottle the kvass, first of all, the kvass should be ready, yeah, it will be quite bubbly, yeah, and you can see in highlights and in stories, still can see quite a lot of pictures. I shared from other people who joined the challenge, yeah, including my own, where you can see how the bubbling activity should look like, right? So, it should be bubbly. The taste should be slightly sour. Still, you should feel, you should taste the sweetness of the beetroot, right? And generally, if you've ever, I mean, people who have ever tasted Russian soup borscht will know what I'm talking about. It should taste exactly like that. Yeah. So, if you don't know how that tastes, well, just judge it by bubbling. Yeah, it's bubbling, still sort of, it will be quite salty as well, yeah. Still sort of sour, still kind of sweet, so that should be your guidelines, right? So, we're going to use some, where's my bottle? Clean bottles, yeah. This one bottle, it's enough for me. Use this. We're going to use this, yeah, so we're going to strain it here so you can see everything, yeah. Right, so we're bottling the kvass, and I'm again wearing this, so if I splash anything, it's easy to clean, because you will notice that when you started, the liquid itself looked more pale and not as concentrated. The color was not as concentrated. Yeah? So you'll notice that. Okay, and now during the fermentation, it's really nice. You will notice that at the point of bottling, the liquid is very dark. Yeah, you can see it's quite dark and very concentrated color. So the color changes. So we're going to put this aside for now. Yeah. I'm going to put this aside for now. I'm going to rinse those so it's easy to clean later. Because this can be quite murky and difficult to wash off. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Right. So, with the beetroot itself, well, first of all, you can reuse the beetroot again and make, using a little bit less salt, yeah, you can fill it up with water and do the same as in the first video, but using a bit less salt, because last time for this ferment, we used 2.2% of salt. From the weight of the water, and now you can use, because those beetroots are already salty, so you can use 2%, yeah, instead of 2.2. So it's not too salty, but you need to add the salt, right? So you can fill that up again. Obviously, most of my beetroot is already processed. Here I made something, yeah, which we'll discuss in a minute. Yours, because remember we filled it up half of that jar, yeah. So I'm going to show you what we can use these for. You can cook them, yeah, you can cook a soup with them or maybe stew them. I find they lose the taste, they lose the color is a little bit brownish, so I don't really like to do that, yeah. So what we're gonna do is what I call beetroot and apple relish. Sort of like a sauce, sort of like a relish, sort of like type of condiment that you can use together with your food, yeah? Because remember, all this is probiotic, yeah? We have a high content of probiotics in here, apart from all the goodness of the beetroot, yeah? Right, so what we're gonna do, I have a submersion blender, so we basically need to blend. Let me take this spoon. So we're gonna blend together. It's really simple, just 2 ingredients. Remember, this one already has salt, so I'm going to spoon it out. If you use standalone blender, that's fine too, even easier than this one. Yeah. So I'm not gonna do too much. Just gonna do Lovely sound. I'm gonna do a bit. Going to do a bit. Leave this aside for now. Yeah. And apple. So I just take some sweet, crunchy, fresh apple, and you don't really need how much of the apple. You will need to be guided by your taste buds. Yeah. So what I'm going to use a quarter first, because what you're trying to achieve is the balance between salt, sour, and sweetness. Yeah, so it should be really really nice and pleasant to taste. There should be enough saltiness in there and a bit of a sweetness. So how much of beetroot and how much of apple, you will have to determine yourself. Yeah, I can't help you here. I can only give you the guidance. So, I'm gonna be a little bit loud in a minute. Also, we can use just a tiny bit of the liquid, so it's easier for the blender to process that. Yeah, just tiny bit. You don't need much. There we go. Hand blender is not as easy. The beetroot has quite a lot of juice still, so you don't really need too much of the liquid. Yeah. So we can leave the liquid for our challenge, basically. Okay. Make sure everything is blended, yeah, because sometimes those bits and pieces are stuck at the bottom. How else you can use those beetroot pieces? Yeah, you can also grate them. I would use something like this, maybe. Yeah, very small grater, or beetroot grater, the carrot grater, the larger one. And then I would probably dress it with a simple French dressing. Yeah, olive oil, some lemon, salt, maybe pepper. Maybe something else, yeah? It will be quite tasty as well. Okay. Make sure that... Spitting everywhere. Okay. Put this aside. Okay, somewhere in the back here, hopefully. Yeah. Great. What I'm going to do actually, before I do any of that, I'm going to taste it, yeah? Absolutely taste it to determine if everything is enough. Mine, I would add a little bit of salt, to be honest with you. Because what will happen now, you can eat it as is, obviously, but I would suggest fermenting it, because apple is not fermented, so there's some unfermented fructose in there, some unfermented fiber in there as well. So I would advise you to ferment it a little bit further for another 24 hours. Yeah, if it's very, very warm, maybe half a day. It shouldn't be bubbling on the surface. There should be just a tiny bit of bubbles on the side of the jar. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean this. I'm going to add a bit of salt and leave it aside for now, so the salt has a chance to dissolve. And I might leave the rest of it aside. I might leave the rest of it. No? Давай сюда. It's okay. The rest of the beetroot, I'll put it in a smaller jar, fill up with water and some salt, and leave it for the next fermentation. Yeah, so I'm gonna just do another, use the same beetroot for another batch. Mind you, when you do that, the intensity of the flavor and of the color will be very different. Yeah, it's not going to be as intense and concentrated. Right, I'm gonna do this and add a bit of salt. How much salt is, I would suggest adding a bit at a time. Yeah, I'm just gonna use my eye, how much to add, just my feel. Basically add a bit. It should be, and when you taste it, it should be nice saltiness. It shouldn't be too overly salty. Yeah? But I would use, this is lacking salt for me. You don't need to salt. Maybe yours is fine without the salt. Yeah, but I'm just going to add a bit to mine. So, and I'm gonna leave it so it has a chance to dissolve. Yeah, the salt. Leave it aside for now, and then we're gonna put it into the jars. Right. So next one is our challenge itself. Yeah. So what happens here is we are going to start drinking the liquid. Yeah. We're going to start really slow, really low, very small quantities. I will explain in a minute why. Basically, it will be something like, I'm going to use those shots. Yeah. So we will start for the first 5 days. We're going to drink about 30. That's it. 30 gram or milliliter. Gram and milliliter in liquid is the same. Yeah. So this is the amount you're going to be drinking for the first 5 days, morning and evening. Very important to note that depending on your personal state of health, yeah, it might vary for you. So, for example, if you already regularly drinking or eating something fermented, whether it's sauerkraut, kombucha, maybe something else, and by regularly I mean at least once a day, if you're already doing that, this amount is fine for you. You might even be able to drink more. Yeah. If you are not regularly, which is every day, drinking or eating some fermented food or drink, then start when you start drinking this. Yeah. Pay attention to your overall state of your health and any symptoms. Yeah, notice any symptoms you might have, which might be some bout of diarrhea, might be some headache, sudden, out of nowhere. Yeah, all those things are the byproducts, yeah, by the reactions actually of your body trying to detoxify toxins that, because remember, this is very probiotics, highly probiotic. Yeah, and what it means is that it's full of beneficial bacteria. So when you drink this, what will happen is that those bacteria will go into your digestive tract, into your gut, and most probably will kill some of the bad pathogenic bacteria trying to create a balance in your gut. Yeah, so those dying will release toxin, and that toxin the body will try to detoxify somehow. Hi everyone. Yeah, and when it does that, you might experience some symptoms. Yeah, that might be diarrhea, as I said before. It might be joint pain. It might be headache, sudden headache. It might be some rush. Yeah, it's nothing to worry about too much. Yeah, what you need to do is reduce the amount you're drinking. If it comes to that, you can even go up to 1 tablespoon instead of Yeah, so you might do that. See for yourself. Yeah, if you have any questions or any concerns, do direct message me with your questions. Yeah. Basically, this is not a dangerous or anything like that thing. Yeah. And obviously, as I said before, I'm not trying to treat anything here. Yeah, any disease or anything like that. But what I'm trying to do is show you how, with the help of regular intake of some probiotics, life probiotic food, drink, you can improve your digestion. Yeah, so basically, I'm hoping that you might get effect. Yeah, several effects, health effects. One of them would be more regular toilet go. Yeah, so you would have more regular poop. You might have better mood. Yeah, obviously it takes a bit longer than 10 days. So if you feel like everything is going fine during those 10 days, I would suggest continue doing this. You don't have to do it with the same drink. Yeah, because after 10 days, which will start from tonight, so basically the 10 days start tonight, right now, in the evening, what is it, 31st of May, yeah, and go for 10 days. So on the 9th in the morning or in the evening, we're going to stop and see what sort of results, if any, we have, yeah. After that, I'm planning to start another, I'm not sure how I'm going to call it yet, but we're going to be making some fruit kvasses, yeah, because fruit kvass, the word kvass can be, you can say soda or fizzy drink, yeah, but naturally carbonated, not the commercially available one. So after that, we are going to start those fruit kvasses because the season is upon us. Yeah, we have lots of strawberries and whatnot. So we're gonna use all that amazing produce and treat ourselves with something tasty. So you can continue with those. Yeah. One thing has to be regular, which is at least once a day. Yeah. Quite often I have questions. People ask me, well, how often do you eat or drink something fermented? Well, ideally with every meal. Yeah. But again, if you are not already doing this, start really, really slow, very, very small amounts, yeah, and build up eventually. So first 5 days, 30 gram or 30 milliliters, that's what we're going to take, yeah. And then after, morning and evening, after meals, yeah. After that, another 5 days, we're going to double this, yeah. And I'm going to do another live or short video, maybe in stories, with some instructions as well, and asking your feedback. Because if anyone is not really... Привет, привет, Оленька. Я тут по-английски теперь веду. Вот утром было по-русски, теперь по-английски. If anyone is feeling some strange symptoms, yeah, you might want to stay at the same level of 30 gram, or maybe even go lower than that. Yeah, it really depends on your how you feeling. Yeah, so this is what we're gonna do with this drink. When you bottle this, I would suggest leaving it at room temperature, tightly closed, for another day to acquire some carbonation and to further reduce the sweetness of the beetroot. Yeah, it will be a little bit more sour. If you live in very warm weather and concerned, or concerned with bubbles, yeah, with fizz, or that it can blow up or anything like that, or you just don't like the fizz, you're tasting it and you're thinking, yeah, this with the fizz, nah, I don't know, probably not. You can leave it like this, yeah. If you're using, you don't have to use this sort of bottle swing top. You can use these screw tops as well. That's perfectly okay, yeah. And what you can do is, you can, if you don't want any fizzy fizz, you can just close it like this, loose, yeah, without screwing it up. So whichever way you're using is fine. So I would suggest one day. If you feel like, oh, you could do with a bit more, leave it for a couple of days. Yeah, it's really up to you. Only you can determine, yes, this is ready, this is I like or no. When you think that's ready, sour enough, tasty, keep it in the fridge. Yeah, it will keep there for quite a long time. We don't need, and by a long time I mean months, yeah, we don't need that time because we're going to drink that, yeah. So this is about the drink. I'm going to, by the way, drink that a little bit later. That's about the drink, yeah. Have any questions, direct message me. So our do this so you see a bit better. Perfect. So let me taste this. You might be wondering, well, okay, well, this relish thing is great, but what else can I do with it? Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I think that's enough saltness. You can also use that same beetroot. Remember I said you can do the salad, yeah. You can use it in soups and stews. It's just personally, I prefer not to do that because the taste is not, I don't really like the taste of it after fermentation, yeah. What you can also do is when there's a season for horseradish, if you have a deuce horseradish, when you grate your horseradish, yeah, you can, or chop it, you can blend it together with this beetroot, yeah, and just leave it to ferment for a few days. If you need the recipe, direct message me, I will post the recipe. So you will have, because usually, for example, here in England, we have very strange horseradish sauce that I think has mayonnaise in that or something like that. It's really strange texture and has lots of ingredients which I'm not sure why they're there, right? Basically, horseradish sauce is just horseradish at home, back home, yeah, where I come from, and salt. That's it. So in this case, you wouldn't even need much salt because these beetroots are salty already, yeah. So I'm going to transfer this into the jar. Yeah, it's a clean jar I've got. And I'll tell you how to know that it's fermenting. I think it's a bit big jar. The jar, when you're filling up your jar, don't fill it up more than, basically leave about half a centimeter or centimeter from the top, yeah. We're not expecting any surface activity per se, but we might, it still needs some space, just a bit, yeah, so it doesn't, if anything, it doesn't overflow. Yes, I have a little bit too, the jar is a bit too big, yeah. So this is not, this is okay, because now we are going to either put it in the fridge and eat straight away, or if you prefer to ferment your apple and add probiotics, yeah, because each fruit or veg adds its own probiotic profile, yeah, has its own probiotic profile, so it will add different bacteria into the ferment. And if you're going to ferment this is okay, yeah, don't leave more. If there's more free space, empty space, transfer to a smaller jar. So basically it should look like this. There you go. Yeah, it should look like this more than what I've got in here. Yeah, so this is okay-ish because we're not going to ferment it for too long, but better to fill it up till here at least. Yeah. So we're going to close this, please. We're going to close this. Make sure there is no air pockets in there. Yeah, this fermentation doesn't need any oxygen. It's anaerobic without oxygen. And leave it at room, close it tight and leave it at room temperature. As always, away from direct sun rays. Yeah. And leave it for another day, 24 hours. If it's very warm, 25 plus and up. Maybe for half a day. So what you're looking for is tiny air pockets on the side of the jar, basically, yeah? If the activity is on the surface and it's kind of bubbling and probably it already gone not that great, it gone too sour and it going into more alcohol fermentation, which we don't really want, plus it's not going to be tasty. So watch this closely, don't forget about it, yeah? Do label it, saying what it is and when you made it. In the fridge it stays weeks, yeah. I think mine, the longest stayed 1.5 months or 2 months, yeah. We're not making too much, so I'm sure that will go within a month. Yeah, it's a very tasty relish, very tasty sauce or condiment. How you use it, up to you. Maybe you will come up with some other recipe, interesting recipe using those beetroots. Do share with me. I would really love to find out. Yeah. So basically that's it. Yeah. Do direct message me with your questions if you have any. Yeah. And I'm going to go and clean mine. So I'm going to enjoy my beetroot kvass. Yeah, and you can see it's really, really tasty. It's very tasty. I would leave it probably for another maybe 1.5 days. Yeah. When 24 hours passes, yeah, at this stage, like this, at room temperature, do give it a taste and make sure you like it. Yeah. If you feel that it could do with some more sourness, leave it for another half a day. Don't leave it for longer than that. It's better to check every half a day after first 24 hours because it might go quite sour quite quickly. Yeah, so you want to catch that moment. I'm going to finish mine, and this is really it. Yeah, this live stream is going to be there for 24 hours, and then I'm going to upload it into YouTube, my YouTube channel, which the link to which you can find in my bio. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much. There's so many people who are doing it. Really pleased. It's very exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing your results. Yeah, let me know how you like it. Let me know about everything. I'm really, really interested. Well, that's it, guys. Have a lovely evening. Bye.